In 1992, adult VHS shelves were a fluorescent jungle of plastic clamshells. Most of them promised skin and delivered little else. Quick-cut, cheaply lit scenes built for the new fast-forward culture of mature entertainment. But then came Chameleons, directed, produced, and edited by John Leslie, one of the few adult filmmakers who still thought in terms of film. Chameleons felt like a throwback to another era. It looked and sounded like a movie. It had a plot. It had a score. It even had ambition. This is the story of how it came to be. As a celebrated actor of the golden age, Leslie had watched the artistic direction of the industry collapse in an avalanche of shot-on-video, straight-to-tape releases, where filmmakers like Gerard Damiano and Radley Metzger had once chased adult artistry. By the early 90s, the business was chasing turnaround speed and unit sales. Leslie and his longtime industry friend Jack Remy wanted to prove you could still make something worthy within that landscape. Remy, an award-winning director of photography, had honed his craft back when you needed a light meter for every shot and celluloid ran through the camera. With Chameleons, they tried to bring that discipline to the age of videotape. The cast reads like a roll call from early 90s adult superstardom: Ashlyn Gere, Rocco Siffredi, Deidre Holland, and Jon Dough. Actors known for bringing personality to the screen, not just performance expertise. They were backed by a strong supporting ensemble, including PJ Sparks, Sunset Thomas, and Don Fernando. And for the first time in a long time, they had a narrative structure within which to act. In this regard, Gere really shows her prowess, bringing believable menace to the role. The plot of Chameleons follows a woman caught in a cycle of seduction and transformation. Sometimes literally, faces shift, bodies morph, identities dissolve. Leslie threads it together like a surreal puzzle about the instability of desire and the masks people wear to survive it. There's a detective story pulse under the surface, but the real mystery is metaphysical. Who are we when in the pursuit of pleasure we are able to change? It's the kind of premise that could have collapsed into camp, but under Leslie and Remy's lens, it turns strangely hypnotic, half fantasy, half lament for the loss of human intimacy in an age obsessed with image. Reviewers of the time described it as a shapeshifter erotic drama, a phrase that could double as commentary on Leslie himself. The performer turned auteur, trying to shift form once again. And while the script might not win any screenwriting awards, it moves with cinematic rhythm, long dissolves, slow pans, actual character beats. In one scene, a woman literally becomes someone else mid-seduction. The metamorphosis is rendered using rudimentary editing effects. In 1992, that was rare for a genre release. Behind the camera, Leslie wore nearly every hat. Writer, director, editor, producer. Remy shot it, turning the industrial warehouse set and the later suburban backdrops into locations that shimmer with a filmic aesthetic. The result on screen feels like a deliberate throwback: framed compositions, soft focus close-ups, dramatic shadows. In an age of handheld gonzo, Chameleon felt nostalgic in its attention to cinematic detail. Bill Heid supplied the jazz-inflected score, an atmospheric touch that gave the movie its noir meets sci-fi mood. Instead of the usual canned synth loops that haunted early 90s adult video, Heid builds the tension with bluesy sax riffs, brushed cymbals, and bass lines that slide between menace and melancholy. It's music that treats the film like cinema, not a commodity, layering atmosphere over the scenes. IMDb credits one of the shooting locations as the Nate Starkman and Son building in downtown Los Angeles. It's an old brick warehouse whose graffiti-scabbed facade had appeared in music videos and fashion shoots of the period. It gave the first section of Chameleons its look: industrial, urban, yet strangely dreamlike. The rest of the movie unfolds across domestic interiors that Remy dressed with light more than set design. Chameleons was financed and distributed by VCA Pictures, one of the few companies still willing to fund narrative projects. VCA handled packaging, marketing, and later the all-important VHS distribution that got it into every rental store from Los Angeles to Little Rock. Still, for its genre, it looked expensive, and audiences noticed. When Chameleons hit the market in May 1992, it didn't just sell, it dominated. Industry trade AVN listed it as top-selling and top-renting release of the year. VCA marketed it as Chameleons, not the sequel, a self-aware jab at the endless wave of numbered follow-ups that clogged adult video stores. The joke landed, and so did the product. Leslie and Remy had made something that looked like an actual movie, and the audience rewarded them for it. Seen now, Chameleons feels very much a one-off for the time. It's glossy but analog, sophisticated but undeniably adult. The performances are real, the lighting painterly. In an era obsessed with gonzo realism, Leslie and Remy's approach felt like rebellion. The high production values and narrative structure with real character development is very evidently symbolic of the filmmakers' longing for the lost artistry of the golden age. By the mid-90s, the experiment was over. Budgets shrank even further. The internet loomed, and attempts at narrative adult cinema faded for good. But Chameleons remains a minor masterpiece of its form, a reminder that genre films, when treated like cinema, can flirt with something larger than itself. It's 98 minutes of slick, stylized Los Angeles lust, shot with the seriousness that lands. And that's exactly what John Leslie wanted. In a world obsessed with speed and quantity, Chameleons was proof that style, and maybe even storytelling, could still resonate with audiences if only that ambition still existed in the industry today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Before we finish, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the sad news of Gina Fine's passing a few days ago. She was a major figure in the adult film industry during the 1980s and 90s, talented, distinctive, and unforgettable. Her work, personality, and influence will continue to be remembered by fans and peers alike. Many of you have already shared your respects in the comments, and our condolences go out to those who knew and loved her. Rest in peace, Gina.